Hello everyone and welcome to Behind the Scenes. For the first Behind the Scenes video, I'll be taking a look at Salvage, a mod pack I've been working on. But before I get into that, I should probably explain what Behind the Scenes is, because before now I've only mentioned a couple updates and this is the first actual Behind the Scenes video. So this is a series where I'll be taking a look at various projects I'm working on that aren't ready yet, so you can take a look at, well, behind the scenes. So it's pretty much for anyone who just wants a sneak peek at anything I'm doing, or kind of just, I don't know, get to see a preview of what I'm doing for anyone who might be interested, because there's a lot of stuff I work on. Some of it doesn't actually go anywhere, and I'll actually cover some of that in future videos. And also, I don't plan for every behind the scenes to even be a Minecraft related thing, but I do work on Minecraft mod packs, and there's a lot of stuff to show of that. So the first one is Salvage. So as I mentioned, Salvage is a mod pack I've been working on, but it's actually a 1.8.9 mod pack, and there's a lot of history. So let me just go over a brief history of how I got here to this version of Salvage. And as you can see by the broken textures and the messy interface, it is far from finished. But I'll get to that in a minute. So it originally started back after Untamed Chaos, my 1.7.10 mod pack. A lot of version numbers, I know. But after that, I decided I wanted to do a different sort of mod pack for 1.8, and I think that's when I came up with the idea for Explorers. Now, Explorers is a mod pack that I actually don't remember exactly or everything about it. I just remember it was based around having World Gen, because I couldn't find a lot of good boss mods, so I thought I'd do World Gen instead. And I started writing this big concept with these different factions, but it would be a faction of World Gen because I couldn't really do NPCs. So the idea was like you'd find one structures relating to this like Iron faction, then another related to these ruins of an older faction and stuff like that. So there were like I think 4 different factions, and some were kind of like active in the world, some were just like ancient and just lost and only you'd find ruins. But I realized soon on that was quickly growing very big, much bigger than I wanted for my next mod pack. So I kind of took that design, put it aside, and started over. And that's when I came up with Salvage. The original Salvage. Now, I actually don't remember what the original Salvage had. I remember it was called Salvage. I think the idea was it was actually based on Time Worn Tower, or a part of Time Worn Tower. So that's a mod pack of a friend of mine, and I also did a Let's Play on it. But the thing I really liked from that was exploring the shipwrecks, which I think were mainly from ruins. I'm not sure if she added any custom ones, but I really liked the idea of exploring sunken ships, and that's where the idea of Salvage came from, and the name Salvage. So I wanted something kind of based a bit around that, so that was my idea for my the main mod pack for Base Explorers. But then I didn't really do a lot with it, and I ended up having another idea for a mod pack based on a 1-sentence line I had in my notes, which was, I think, a mod pack based around crystals. And what I ended up coming up with is everything would drop crystals. The mobs, the ores, like anything you break has a chance to drop a crystal. The more repeatable it is, the less likely it drops it, but everything could drop crystals, and these crystals would be used to craft various things. So I had the Salvage concept, and I had another 1.8.9 concept for Crystalline, and both of these were mod packs I was trying to make. But then after neither getting very success, or seeing very much success, I decided to merge them into a mod pack called Crystalline. Then I changed the name back to Salvage, and this is the mod pack you're seeing now. Like I said, it's a pretty long and probably overly confusing history, but pretty much a few months back, I finally picked up Salvage again after just kind of sitting there. Like, I've had a whole bunch of the mods scout out and a giant list of all the mods I want to try. I even tested some of them, and I had a whole bunch of ideas for what I wanted to do, but I didn't put a lot of work into it, and now I put a lot of work. I've nailed down the design. I've worked a bunch on getting the stuff working behind the scenes. I haven't finished the mods though. So that's probably something that's a little weird, is that in a mod pack, you usually would expect the mods to be the first thing you do. But the cool thing about Salvage, and I don't think I've done this in any other mod pack, is it is very custom. So the majority of the stuff I'm adding is custom made using Loot++, because it's out into 1.8. So, like, a lot of the ores, a lot of the armors, the trinkets, a lot of that stuff is all custom made, and pretty much, well, let me just turn around so you can kind of see my test world here. Okay, it's not nearly as glamorous as I expected this reveal to be. But, yeah, at the moment, though, I just have a bunch of random mods. Not really random, but mods I was testing. Like, you can see I have one armor HUD on the left here, then another on the bottom right. And as you can see, there's a bunch of armors over there. So I guess maybe we should start with that. So pretty much Salvage is a combination of, well, Crystalline and the original Salvage. And this is the new armor texture test. I think I labeled this so I'd remember what was what. But, yeah, I think I also did plan... Okay, there's one other little confession I have to say right now. I have not been on this test world in months or weeks. Earlier this year, I was doing a lot with Salvage. I kind of like spent weeks focused on it, going over the concept, working on the various things. But since then, I kind of stepped away from it for a bit. And it's been a few weeks since I worked on it, but I decided I wanted to make a behind-the-scenes video. So I decided to make a behind-the-scenes video. I just haven't been working on it recently. But I'm hoping that sometime after this video, I can get back to working on it. Anyway, so... yeah, alright, that's what... I even forgot what I did. I set up a whole bunch of stuff for this recording, and I forgot what I've done. But anyway, Salvage is a combination of Salvage and Crystalline. There's two parts. Salvage planned to add its own custom ore progression, while Crystalline focused on crystals. This mod pack is a combination of both, so it has both in it. You know, I haven't plugged it in yet, but like, if you break a glass block... oh, I forgot I wasn't in creative. If you break a glass block, or a dirt block even... you have a chance to get a crystal. If you kill a mob, you have a chance to get a crystal. If you mine it, or you have a chance to get a crystal. These crystals will be used to craft various things. That you can kind of merge them to get higher tier ones. And the general idea is the crystals will be used to access most of the stuff from mods. For example, Crystal Wing. I'm not sure if that's confirmed yet, but if I add Crystal Wing, you'll need some of these crystals you get to make it. Or if I add, like, a glider, or stuff like that. So you'll need crystals to access the non-vanilla features. Whereas I'm also adding a bunch of custom stuff that's kind of separate from the crystals. Bit confusing? Yes. But there are also a bunch of other tweaks that I probably have some notes somewhere I want to go over what, but I don't have them open. Oh well. So let's go over the armors instead. So I did plan to tweak some of the progression. I wanted to make it harder to get iron for one. I wanted to make you, or pretty much, the first change is you have to use stone, not cobblestone, to make stone tools. And I'm also making it harder to get a furnace, so you spend a bit longer with wood. I am also planning to add flint tools that are better than wood, and also craft in the 2x2 here. So, oh, I forgot that I would do that. Actually, yeah, I'll probably show you what these are in a second. And also I'm wearing some armor. Fancy, huh? Also I was planning to do cosmetic armor. Oh, add the same armor in both slots. That's weird. But flint tools in the 2x2. So you get flint tools, that will help you until you get stone. You get stone tools, then you can start mining iron. But you'll get drastically reduced iron, and that's because I want to kind of slow down the progression, make it harder to get to iron. Because vanilla is just, you get iron really quick, then it takes forever getting diamond, and that's it. And I feel like that's way too short, so I wanted to slow that down and make this a bit harder, but not like super punishing. So, I don't know, I plan for this to be challenging, but not overly challenging. And I'm adding but it's kind of like I did with Untamed Chaos, where it starts off really rough, but then you kind of become like a god. So this is, you start off rough, but then you become pretty good. Better than vanilla, but not quite god status. I don't know, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now anyway, or whatever member of the plan. As you can see, there's a bunch of armors. So the ones with this, I think that's white clay, are vanilla. The ones with the gray clay are custom, and the ones with the red clay are not actually in this mod pack, they're for examples only. So this is from Untamed Chaos, the Bedrockium, and the Manualin armor. Also the old Bedrock texture that I didn't end up using. So yeah, these are just here to compare to the new armors. So let's go over the armors real quick. So over here you have gold, and this one, which is Ancient Gold. So Ancient Gold, also some of these armors aren't finished, like this is mainly to test the colors, but actually I'll skip over here. So this is steel, and as you can see, steel looks very different than other armors. The helmet has a lot more length to it. It has extended shoulders. It has an extended chest piece. I think the boots come up higher. I can't really do much with legs. Legs, they're covered up by the body and chest. Or the body and boots. So you pretty much have to just have legs. There's not anything I could think to make them look more distinct. But they're there. Also, I usually have the armor displays like this and the legs behind. That's why there's just pants on the back row. It's kind of embarrassing or weird. Anyway, so steel armor. that one looks very different. Some of these other ones, I do plan to add some extra features, like maybe extending the sleeves or making the helmets more protective. I think I have for some, but for the most, it just takes a vanilla silhouette and recolors it. So some of them are still planned to be changed later. I'm not sure I made any changes to Ancient Gold here, but Ancient Gold is something special. So pretty much, in addition to having custom ores, every mob will have a custom item. And some of these items you use to upgrade gold to Ancient Gold. Sorry, I had to do a cut there, and I forgot where I left off. But yeah, Ancient Gold. Each piece of the armor will have a different effect, unlike the other armors, which are mainly played to have set effect and not individual effects. Like the helm will give one effect, the body will give a different effect, so on. So Ancient Gold's really unique in that sense, and it is not the only mob item by far. I think I have plans for some Ancient Gold weapons. There's some other special weapons, like there's some special swords called blades. There's, I think, a skeletal armor, which I have not yet designed. So, I don't know, there's a lot of mob unique items in addition to the new ore stuff. And Ancient Gold is probably one of my favorite, because I actually did get the texture kind of looking... I kind of was going for like an antique brass kind of look. And I feel like I actually nailed that. That's what it looks like to me anyway. I mean, it probably looks like ugly mustard armor in a sense, but it kind of looks like you took gold and make it older. And that's what I was going for. You come over here, you have 2 armors. Yes, I actually think I do remember the names. It's been a while, like I said. So this one is Fabrite, and this one is Mystalium. I hope I got the pronunciations correct, because I was going around with a bunch of different names. So Fabrite is the new overworld ore. It's kind of meant to be like rarer gold, or kind of like a mithril in a sense. But I didn't want to just call them mithril or such. I wanted to come up with new names unique to this mod pack. And it took quite a lot of time. But Fabrite is a highly enchantable... I forget where it actually places. I think it's like between iron and diamond. You know, the stereotypical kind of gap for armor. But yeah, it's a really cool armor. But you can upgrade it to Mystalium. And Mystalium is much better. There's also steel, which is kind of an upgrade to iron, and it's pretty much just more durability. I forget how much stronger I made it. You see, I haven't done this in a while, so I forget a lot of these things. And then there's also Topaz over here, which is a new gemstone in the Nether. Now, here's one of the problems, though. This is also Topaz, but... Okay, honestly, do you think these look like Topaz? Or do you think they look like bronze and copper? Because honestly, this is the big problem I had with making orange armor. It just looks like copper. I don't know why. So I'm kind of okay with Topaz looking like copper, because it really is just an orange diamond. I don't know how differently I could do it. I might tweak the texture a bit if I have an idea of how. But the dark Topaz here, yeah, it just looks like bronze. So I actually was planning to change this from dark Topaz to infernal Topaz and change it to red, because I don't have any red armors, and yeah, this color's just not flying. It's just an ugly brown orange. It looks like bronze. It does not look like the strongest armor in the game. And that's what it's planned to be. So Topaz is kind of going to be an equivalent to diamond. I made it better in some way, but I forget how. And yeah, so remember where I mentioned those crystals used to upgrade things? Well, they come in 2 versions. The kind of good crystal and the bad crystal, the pure or the corrupt. I haven't decided on their final names yet. But Topaz can be corrupted into Dark Topaz or now Infernal Topaz, which will give you a damage boost, while Diamond can be upgraded to Pure Diamond here, and that will give you a health boost. So that was one of the earliest ideas of this, and actually that was taken from Time Worn Tower, because in there I remember finding gear that had random health and damage modifiers. Woe to you too. Anyway, so I think that covers most of the armors, and I think I have a chest here that kind of meant to cover some of the other stuff. Huh. But the only other thing to mention is steel and Mystalium here. So you can't craft these armor normally. Them and I think some other armors. I think Ancient Gold might be one as well. The only way you can craft them is by finding a special recipe scroll. And once you have the recipe scroll, you can use it unlimited times. Unless I actually had durability. I don't think I did. But, yeah. So they can be used to craft unlimited times. And, well, I might actually add durability now that I think about it. I don't know. That's something for Balancing to decide later. but you need the scroll to craft the material to make the armor. The armor itself, if you have the steel bar, you can make it, but to make steel, you'll need the scroll. To make Mystalia, you need the scroll. I think the same is true for Ancient Gold and the Skeletal Armor. So, yeah. I actually did want to go over a bunch of other stuff, but this recording's already running pretty long for the first behind the scenes, so I guess I'll just have to do a part 2 of Salvage behind the scenes. This is pretty much just kind of going over what the mod pack is and the armor, but as you can see, this is a pretty big mod pack. I have spent a considerable amount of time working on stuff, and yeah, there's still so much more to go. Hopefully it's going to go pretty quick once I actually finish testing the mods and kind of like narrow down, okay, these are the mods, and just go through the configs really fast, because I have been plugging some things, making sure things work as I go, and, you know, kind of like, I haven't just been working on textures and, you know, just the names and plans. I actually have been testing some of the stuff, as you'd see over here. I also have been working on the textures. I do think Fabrite's pretty good. I think I plan to brighten it. And Topaz... Let's not talk about Topaz right now. I tried making it like another emerald, and it's not there yet. It definitely is more work. But yeah, so that's the armors and the textures, or textures. And I guess I'll have a part 2 to go over what's in these chests and such over here, because they're really cool. And probably more interesting than the armor. But I don't know, what do you think so far of what you see in the mod pack? Do you like all the armors I presented to you and the whole... probably poorly explained system of having the different ores, the different upgrades with the scrolls, the different crystals? I don't know. It's a very intricate mod pack. It has a lot of moving parts to it, but I think it's going to be a really cool mod pack and a really cool series once I actually get to playing it. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So thank you all for watching, and until the next behind the scenes video, goodbye.